Next question, the member for Ottawa South.
Much, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Premier. Morning, Premier. I hope you had a fun Halloween. Speaker, yesterday was a really scary day for Ontarians, and not because of all the little ghosts and goblins that came to the door, but because Ontario became the largest jurisdiction in North America without a plan for climate change. We're likely the largest place in the world. Climate change presents a danger right now to our way of life. And I know the Premier is busy with his federal leadership campaign. But Mr. Speaker, it's sheer madness that we have no plan for climate change here in Ontario. So, through you, Mr. Speaker, can the Premier tell us if he has a plan for climate change, and if he does, what it is? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, our government was elected to get rid of the inefficient cap-and-trade, a tax grab that this province and this country has never seen. It's about making businesses more competitive, about taking the burden off the backs of each individual in Ontario. It's about making Ontario thrive once again. And as the Financial Accountability Officer said, confirming that we're going to save the taxpayers $1.3 billion. That's $264 a household, until they might be able to go out and do the things they may not be able to do under the cap and trade, the carbon tax. It's an absolute worst tax ever.
Supplementary.
Well, I have your answer for you, Mr. Premier. You do have a plan for climate change, and as a matter of fact, your Minister of the Environment signed on to it about this time last year, and I think the Attorney General did, and the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Actually, the whole front row signed on to the People's Guarantee that had a plan for climate change. Well, you did. Probably most of your caucus. You did. You did. There's one that didn't. There we go. We do have the anomaly. So the question is this. What's changed in the last 12 months? What's the big change? So the C.D. Howe Institute tells us we need a plan. Two of this year's Nobel Prize winners, they told us we need a plan. Speaker, the Premier's own budget advisor has been telling people we need a plan. So how is it that the Premier can find the time to find jobs for his friends, but can't find time to have a plan for climate change?
Premier.
Minister of Environment.
To the Environment, Conservation and Parks.
Mr. Speaker, I'll tell the Leader of the Independent Liberals what happened and what changed. What changed was an election, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've been clear. We will bring forward a plan this month that does not punish Ontario taxpayers, that does not punish Ontario families. What we won't have is the sort of out-of-control spending that was a part of the cap-and-trade program. Money going to Warren Buffett to help him build an electric truck factory. Hundreds of millions of dollars on Windows programs that were out of control. Mr. Speaker, our program won't punish Ontario families. It rewards Ontario families. It rewards Ontario for the work it's already done on climate change.
Response.
We'll help reduce greenhouse gases. We'll plan for the future, but we won't punish Ontario families.
Stop the clock.